folks. Okay, we're live, folks. We're live, folks. So Jay said a bad word, but we're back. It's okay.
I said such a bad word that Kevin had to
you
end
almost.
the stream.
I was like, wait. When you started saying such, I was like, wait, are you gonna do it again? Because I just clicked
No.
live. I just clicked live. I literally just clicked live, bro. Oh, there's Reese's favorite gun. Reese got his favorite gun. Oh. You better use it. You better use it. You better go Rambo style. Use it. Use it.
Not on yourself, boy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was very distracted by Kevin's franticness.
I'm kind of gobsmacked.
It's amazing. You're the only one left alive. This is incredible.
I am?
Yes, I'm watching you right now.
Oh, bro, they're right there. They're literally right in front of you.
What do you mean you're alive? Yes, you're alive. You're the only one left. Wait, why are they shooting you?
They're not very good.
Shotgun him. No.
No.
No. It's a roll shotgun.
What?
Okay. Okay, we're back. We're back, folks. Okay. Okay.
Bro.
We're back.
I said a very bad word, apparently.
A bad,
so
bigoted.
Bad that Kevin had to end it.
Unforgivable word, yeah.
A bigoted word against people who appreciate women.
That is
But
what
you know,
he said that.
And it is interesting that on Twitch, you can. There was a girl who got suspended for 7 days for doing things that we're not going to disclose.
No.
But you get suspended for a week, but then you'll get banned for months for saying a word.
A word, yes.
Very odd platform, I have to say.
No, I'm
I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there's any financial reasons why they have to enforce those rules.
We can't say that. The boss is my hero. Jeff Bezos is my hero.
I'm just wondering.
Bezos my hero. Okay.
Well, speaking of Bezos,
I'm not saying it's bad.
They were saying about Amazon Prime that if their new Lord of the Rings series that was getting absolutely clowned on if it doesn't outshine everything else they've ever done, it's over. They're not going to do anything else.
No. If that's over, then a lot of my money's over. So no. Everybody needs to go and give that thing 5 stars. Like,
look, man.
No hate watching. I'm like, no. You need to love watch that series. You need to love watch that series.
It sounds like you have a financial incentive to say these things.
That is what I have. I do have a conflict of interest. That is what I do.
Yeah, you're one of those paid journalists ruining gaming and such.
You're ruining Twitch. No. Do you guys remember Robe guy or whatever his name was? Robe son or whatever? He was on Prime's channel and he's like, this Kevin guy, I see him everywhere now. He's on Hippy Dippy. This Neocon, he's ruining Twitch. He's ruining Twitch.
That is what he does.
And I was just laughing, and he was so mad. He was so mad, and I was just like, "Oh, this is so base. This is so base right now."
Well, he should be happy now. There's no more Hippy Dippy.
Yeah, no more Hippy Dippy.
Where else do you go, Kevin? What other shows can you go on?
There's a lot of them. I've just been pretty busy.
Why is there no Hippy Dippy?
Because Dolan's busy doing more important stuff in Ukraine, so...
I thought he was still doing it from Ukraine.
He is in Ukraine. Well, no. He stopped because, like, his other work is just more important, basically. So...
I think he only did one proper stream like that from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Or maybe from Poland. I don't remember.
He did a few from Poland.
What is he actually doing?
He's covering the war. Like, he went to the front lines. He got spotted by a Russian drone recently and had to run for the hell's base. So.
Wow. That counted as fall damage. Come on, game.
He was interviewing, refugees and things like that.
Well, he was interviewing refugees in Poland. That was originally what he was going to do. but then he got offered access to the front lines in Ukraine, and he's been there for months now, and he has more hours of footage there than that at least are getting released than CNN or anything else, because they'll only release the stuff that has good audio. But on a war zone, you're not going to get good audio very often. His stuff is real, so.
Well, make sure that you don't get drafted while you're over there, Dylan. Make sure you don't get drafted.
I need backup on me.
Yeah,
There's
people
someone
were
here.
saying that he was just doing this for clout or whatever, and it's like he spent $30K to risk his life to cover the war.
I'm dead.
Oh no.
I noticed. Oh, hello.
No, I'm dead.
So he's actually like become like a proper war journalist then.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like if you watch his channel, it's a lot more serious now. He doesn't like do drama stuff or whatever.
I'm impressed and jealous.
He was saying how when he went to go and interview the, I believe the Undersecretary of State of Poland, they told him, they're like, oh yeah, we know what you're about. We Googled your name. And he was just thinking, he's like, so they saw me talking about I hypocrite with the N-word stuff, probably. And he was like, and it made him really question his direction on Twitch, and he decided he wanted to do more serious stuff. So.
Oh, sorry, not enemy.
Yes, there's an enemy.
Oh.
That was the guy I killed who got revived. And that's the guy who killed me.
Oh.
Nice!
No.
Taking the ground.
They're in the water. It's coming.
Whatever the wife is cooking smells amazing.
The guy Arthur's fighting is the one who killed me. Oh no, there's two of them.
Help!
Help!
Where are you guys at?
No! Wait, oh, they were dead. Okay.
Oh. Oops. I was the only one.
I didn't realize you were alone. I didn't know you were alone. I didn't know. Okay, we are going to...
It's hard to tell when you're a skeleton.
Wait,
yeah,
let's go to lobby, because...
We're going to Rave Cave again. I want to go to Rave Cave
Lobby.
again. Oh, lobby, okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, Kevin, we're going to lobby. You were wrong. You were wrong, man.
You're wrong.
No, you.
No, you. But yeah, Jay, I recommend going and checking out his channel. Like, the Ukraine war stuff is some of the... Like, it's honestly better than a lot of, like, CNN or CBC, because they'll just have a guy in Kyiv, or they'll just have footage, but he's actually on the front lines for some of his reporting. So.
Wow.
And he dropped 30K of his own money to go and do it, too, which is crazy, so...
Just real quick, I'm saving this to watch later. Medea Benjamin. All right. I should actually check out what the playlist looks like right now. Make sure I deleted everything that is not being used. It looks like I did.
You better get those nuke glasses out, because that's gonna blind you with cringe.
Oh, we got some winners in here.
I like how Jay's like 2 levels away from Darth Vader right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna do you.
Vader.
I'm gonna do you a mercy. There's just gonna be one Kyle video on there.
Oh.
But I said I'd take Kyle over that other crap. Let's just do a Kyle night. Wait, we
No.
did that before. We did it. You guys remember when we did that episode 50,
Yeah.
I think? It was all Kyle. Or no.
It was so cringe.
It was...
And I'm gonna make sure there's only one Hill video. There we go.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's one Jimmy video.
So
I
it
suppose
really
you
is
got
all
up a
going to
little
be
bit.
Democracy Now crap, isn't it?
No, I'm just considering one. It's gonna be a pretty small playlist, honestly.
I hate Democracy Now. Not in the same way I hate Jimmy and Kyle. I hate it because it's not even funny. Not even funny.
I can't use
boring.
I can't use most Jimmy videos because they feature Hinkle. So I get
What,
kind
him
of screwed
swearing?
over. We
Hinkle's
can't do
banned.
Hinkle. Yeah, if anyone's banned from Twitch, we can't watch them.
Yeah.
Oh, because yeah, Twitch has that rule where if they ban someone, they ban them from everywhere.
Yeah, you're not allowed to watch them. Like, they're not allowed to be on Twitch.
Seems a little authoritarian.
It's their company. They can do what they want with it. The thing is,
I always think that's kind of a lame. Like, I just think it's a lame policy. If we're very clearly responding, I think that they should be able to moderate and understand that it's not the same as platforming him.
What's
Well-
context? I don't know what that is.
the thing is that for Twitch, though, the people at Twitch, they wanted to make a rule that was very clear, because otherwise you could have like some RT fanboys being like, "Oh yeah, we're just reacting to Hinkle. We're not promoting him. We're just reacting to him." And how
And I think it'd be obvious, though. I think it'd be obvious the difference between those things. It's whatever. But it does greatly limit what the show can do. And I think the show's lesser for it, quite frankly.
Yeah, but Hinkle, the thing is, here's the thing about the show. We've never had an episode where we ran out of content on Google Gang. So we don't actually need Hinkle to do a good show.
True, but I think that those videos that we're missing out on would be some of the best that we could possibly react to.
Oh my days! I
Google
love
Gang
this.
is not
I
at
love
its
this.
full
So
potential.
you know how Biden has, canceling student debt and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, which one?
I
Which one
love
was that?
how
I'll go
they're,
Rave, you guys go lazy.
What?
Alright.
Okay.
Let's just
That
go
That
with
was a
Kevin.
joke. That was a joke, Reese. That was a
I don't
joke.
know. And I can't tell with you, man.
That was a
sometimes.
joke. Obviously, you guys would die if I went to rave.
Yeah.
All right. Let's make the LGBT.
Yeah.
No,
That
let's make
wasn't
the
a joke.
pansexual flag.
That was a joke. So you laugh at the part that's not a joke. And you don't laugh at the part that's a joke. What's wrong with you guys? It's like upside down day right
Nope.
now. Is it April Fools? Nope.
Get out. Nope.
Get out.
So yeah, you know how Biden is canceling student debt and stuff? I love how the far right have been going, "Oh, this is terrible," blah blah blah, and then people have been replying to their tweets, being like, "Is this you?" And then it says how they've had their debt they've applied to have their debt cancelled.
Not just any
So
people.
funny.
Not just any people. The White House itself is responding to those.
Not to
Oh,
mention
yeah,
they took
yeah,
out
yeah.
way more money and got it forgiven.
Well,
You know.
I don't think it's like maybe this is a hot take. I don't think it's hypocritical that if you're against the policy, like here's what Dave Ramsey would say: he's against the debt forgiveness, but he wouldn't tell his viewers to not apply for it. He'd say, "Well, that's not you. If it's available, go for it." He just advised.
I think that that's one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard, man. It's obviously hypocritical.
No, I disagree. That's like saying, well, you think that that taxes should be higher, but you're not going to volunteer to give the government more money out of your paycheck. I don't think it's hypocritical.
I don't think that those are even comparable situations.
We could debate about this. Like, I think it was genuinely stupid. This is the government basically admitting. And the thing is, it's not even like the end of the world. Like, if they do this once, okay. But the government needs to put out a statement. We're not encouraging people to go to college unless they're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. Because otherwise it's basically a waste of
Yeah,
money.
it's just
So,
it's gonna
because
enable
this is Joe
reckless
Biden
behavior.
literally admitting that college is a waste of money for most people. So, but the
How is-
government's still
wait,
going to tell people. The teachers
How
are
is
still going to tell
how is he
people.
admitting that?
Because
I don't
he's
know.
saying, "Oh, you guys have a ton of debt, so obviously a lot of people it wasn't worth it for them." Because the problem isn't the debt, right? Because if you get a house with a mortgage, the debt's not the problem. You have an asset against it. But with a college degree, unless you've got a lucrative career as a result of it, which some people do, Bastiat's been doing huge memes about how he can't wait to get his debt forgiven so he can buy Lego. He's been tweeting at Biden about the Legos he's going to buy and stuff. The thing is, if your degree's worth nothing, then you're in trouble. And most people in the U.S., more than half aren't going to get a job that requires a degree with the degrees that they have, and that's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So I don't even necessarily have that big of an. I don't have a big problem with Biden writing off a mistake from the last few generations. But my problem is, if we're going to do that, the government needs to stop encouraging teachers to tell their kids that they're failures if they don't go to college. And the government needs to come out and say, literally, unless you know 100% you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, we do not recommend you go to school, and we will not give you a student loan to do it. I want to be clear. I'm not 100% against what Biden did here. I'm not a fan of Biden, but I don't have a problem with having a reset where we say, okay, it's not just students' faults. They were brainwashed by their teachers to go and whatnot. But here's what's going to happen. We're not going to make this a running thing where we have to do this every few years. We're ending this now. If you want to go and get a meme degree, you got to go to a private lender to do that. And it's that simple. That's what I would say. It's fine for the government to forgive it, but you got to have something so that this never happens again. Because the fact of the matter is, for most people, it's not worth it to go to college. And there's actually a case to be made for taxing college degrees, because you've got an excess supply in the market. You've already got an imbalance the other way around. Like if it turned out that the economy needed, say, 30% of people have degrees, but only 5% of people had them, then there's a case to be made that the government should literally pay people to go to school. But if 70% are going for it or have it, which is the case right now, and 30% of jobs require it, well, now there's the case that the government should be taxing it, not giving people loans to go and further imbalance the economy and wind up working at Starbucks with $50,000 degrees. It just seems like a cyclical poverty trap. But and I'll literally debate anybody who disagrees on this. So that's where I'm at.
Arthur, we're waiting for you.
We're literally waiting, Arthur. We're at the vault.
Where are you guys at?
At the vault.
Oh, I don't know how to get down there.
Oh
From
my
here.
days.
Well, the thing is, there is interest. The thing is, there's interest. Like in Canada, for example, there's 7% interest on student loans usually. But the problem is, a lot of people can't pay it. Because here's the thing: if you're 18 years old, the government will give you basically an unlimited, unsecured loan. And I'm like, if you're gonna do that, at least have to back it up with like a house or a car or something. It makes no sense otherwise. But
I was listening to Kevin's speech. It was.
Yeah, that's another inequality problem. Who has that, especially at that age?
Well, but my point is, the government should be in the business of giving like $80,000 loans to kids who want to go and party, you know. And if you're not wanting to go and party, if you're actually
when did
serious,
the government?
But if you're actually serious about it, you could find a private lender that would take that risk on you. But I don't like the student loan system. I never have, and I don't even necessarily have a problem with forgiving it. In theory, I just say if you're gonna forgive it, have a plan in place so that you never have to do it again. And I would say abolish the government lending, unless it's specifically for a degree that you need. Like there's just not enough people, like engineering or something like that. But even engineering is saturated. I'm not saying, by the way, go and be an engineer or something, unless it's what you want to do, because I know engineers who are unemployed. like engineering is saturated at this point. It's just at least you have a higher chance of not being unemployed in a degree like that. But it's
so in the UK the system is completely different, where the government effectively do give you a loan, but they don't give it to you. It can only be only the university get that, and also college is free. And college and university are two different things. And then when it comes to the debt, yours is the same as ours, college and university. College is free.
Vocational thing, but college.
Yeah. Okay, ours is free. And then university. So if you can't afford it, which is only $9,000 a year, so ours is capped by the government anyway, highly regulated. And even the government struggled to get that pushed up to $9,000, because no one wants to pay more for it. So what the government do is you apply for effectively a government grant. The government pay that money for your university. However, you don't actually pay it back until you're making more than $32,000 a year.
Okay,
which
see,
is a lot more than the minimum wage.
Well, that's pounds, right? That's like 55K Canadian. See, here's the thing: if the government did that in Canada, they'd never get their money back because most people are never going to make that kind of money here because the degrees just don't pay that much. So, like if you got a degree in philosophy, you're never making that money unless you become a professor. So you never pay it back. So, like 55K with a philosophy degree is basically unheard of.
Well, you said that you didn't need a degree for a lot of jobs, so why couldn't they just get a job that's unrelated to their education?
Oh, they could absolutely do that, but my point is, why should
it would
the
be
government
fine
then,
paying.
But then why should the government then be writing a loan for a degree that's not going to have a return on investment?
Because it's a demonstration. It's a demonstration of your ability to commit to something before you enter the workforce proper.
Exactly, and as an employer, I don't necessarily.
But it's not, and it never will be like that.
It's never has been. So university, as an employer, if I see that someone's got a degree over someone who hasn't got a degree, I don't care what the degree is, but the degree shows that you have the ability to research, write reports, write proposals, and other things.
Okay, but like, let's say somebody comes to you and they've got 110K in debt for a degree that they didn't get a job in that field, and somebody else comes to you and they've got no degree, but they're like an entrepreneurial kind of guy or whatever. Who are you gonna hire? Who are you gonna trust with your company's money? I'd probably trust the guy who didn't go 110K into debt.
Depends on what it is that it depends on which one's the stronger candidate in the interview. If the person with the debt is the better candidate, then I'm going to pick them.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's a good point. But interview skills don't have that much to do with a degree. Like, degree measures confidence for research and stuff. But like, you can be a very
there's variables at the end of the day,
and you can be an idiot, right? So
Like, but this is where it's all variable.
Like Donald Trump is a pretty charismatic guy, but he's also an idiot. Like, he would interview well.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh yeah, I'm the greatest. I'll do the job excellent. It's like, okay.
He calls all the shots, man. I agree with you, Jay. I'd probably, if it came down to it, I'd prioritize a degree in anything over a lot of things.
Yeah. At the end of the day, when as an employer, there's all these variables that I have to take into consideration. Like, for example, there was a guy 10 years ago, I was interviewing for a new engineer, mobile phone technology engineer. And I had two candidates, two finalists, basically. All the rest were absolutely terrible. One of them had no degree, but had worked for Car Phone Warehouse, which is basically one of the biggest mobile phone distributors in the UK. And the other one had worked for a small little mom-pop retail location and had a degree in IT engineering. But I didn't employ the IT engineer because he didn't have anywhere near the experience or the know-how compared to the guy that had just spent 10 years working at Car Phone Warehouse did.
Okay. I got a boat coming in.
I'm sending down a boulder.
Oh, if you impulse on a boar, the boar flies with you. That's sick. I didn't know.
They do incentivize it in a sense, like
Yes, I got him. He was healing up there. I
need backup.
No,
I'm down.
He needs backup. No.
Where is that?
Please save me before I die.
Oh, he's over there.
No.
They incentivize it, but they don't enough. Like, if you get a good grade, you're going to get more. Oh, hello.
I need long range.
Where are you? Oh, I'm gonna get your car.
Where is he?
I don't know. He's up on the ridge.
I'm going for the reboot. I'm gonna get you back. I'm going for the reboot. Hang tight.
Oh no, he's by me. Okay.
Well, like another example, I recently just employed someone. Now, that person has no experience in the industry that they have the job in. However, the task of what that person has to do is, I need someone I can trust and someone who can, basically delete some stuff.
True.
But it was mainly the fact that of the trust issue is one of my problems.
Right.
And
no,
employing
I
someone for
understand
trust was a lot more important than
I got a
hiring
spooky
someone
card.
who knows the field.
Exactly. In fact, it's usually the ones who know a lot that you don't want to trust. That seems to be a running pattern.
Yeah, some
He's
people
here.
can get a bit big-headed. Whoa, he's here.
No, he went flying up.
They do offer some incentive, like if you perform well, if you test well, and you pass your courses, they'll give you, more financial support to continue going. But even that's pretty, like, bare bones. It's
No, I'm dead.
I'm of the opinion, and this may be controversial, but if you demonstrate that you're committed to getting your degree, I don't even care what it is. People will make a meme out of it and list every 2014 SGW degree you could think of that I've never even encountered. But if you're committed to that, that should be like its own reward, really. It'd be like, oh yeah, we can support this. This is a worthwhile investment. And that does equal a higher pay in many jobs. So it doesn't matter. I've known people my whole life who they got a job and it wasn't related to their education because, okay, well, what if you want some job and it's not available? And what, so all that education was for nothing? No, you go get another job. Sometimes life takes you in very unexpected directions. And what you wanted to do when you were 18, maybe that's not all that possible when you're 28, 38.
But see, here's the thing here, and I mostly focus on foreign policy, but I could debate this. There's a better argument that the government should write off everybody or $10,000 of everybody's car loans than student loans, because a car is more important for a job in America. So why should the government write off people's car debt? They use cars to go to work.
It depends on where
you're
you're
not
at.
hire you if you don't have a car for many industries. So.
Well, yeah, but it almost feels like
very
whataboutery a little
variable.
bit.
Well,
Like,
no,
I
but,
would-
it's not whataboutery because, I'm against both. I think they're both a bad idea. But if I had to pick one, if we're making the job argument, a job is more useful as a baseline for getting it, or a car is more useful to get a job in America than a college degree. Like you might need both. But if you had to pick one, an employer would prefer you had a car for most jobs, unless you're like a doctor or a banker or something, so where you basically need a degree. So
I don't know. I heard that in regard to housing, because
well, you
it's
need a
much harder.
house.
But I don't see why. I don't see. So yeah, but based on that, I don't see why there couldn't be an argument made for that.
So
Really.
write off 10K of everybody's mortgage.
Oh,
We play
Uncle.
second. That's not actually bad. Second's the
I
second
play
best.
second.
Oh yeah.
He choked it.
Good enough.
Enough, yeah. But like, I guess the thing is, it's like, where does it stop then? Because
Wait.
if you could justify a house and you can justify a car, you can justify the education, then where does it stop? What about credit card debt? What about any debt, really?
That's why I think you could make a better case for the student loans, because that is in the pursuit of educating yourself and bettering your life, and it's not some material possession. You can still make a case for the material possessions, but I think they're harder to justify than investing in than this, quite frankly.
But at a 10K level, you're not buying a Lamborghini with that. At a 10K car, you're using that to go to work. So it's not like a 10K car, it's all about the materialism. It's like, no, that's what you use to go to point A to point B. So it's like, my point is, people like kind of scoff at the idea of like, oh, well, writing off car debt or whatever. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying, if the justification is you need a college degree to get a job, you need a car to get a job. So
I think
I
something
just-
to get out of this whole debate would be to have like a negative income tax.
Well, a negative income tax would solve all of this, because then if you're somebody who wants to go to school, you can use that to go to school. If you're somebody who doesn't, well, you still get the same money. It's not like you're getting punished, because what this amounts to is if you're a working class, say welder or plumber or A&W worker in America, a lot of your money just went to write off upper middle class lawyers, so they don't have to pay as much.
I don't see any meaningful difference. Some people who are anti-tax are still going to see it as a punishment, because it is, their money going to help somebody else. It doesn't really matter the reason it's going to them.
What if you grinded and you were like a big Ramsey viewer 5
years ago? This argument is
horrible.
horrible.
You paid off your loans, and then you find out, so you just grinded to pay off 10K debt, and then Biden just wrote off the 10K debt. So you lost because
this argument has been memed to death, but it's the just go with the classic response of, they cured cancer, but I survived cancer. It's not fair.
But you didn't sign up for cancer. Cancer doesn't help you get a return on investment. That's the difference.
It does.
You signed up for your student loans.
Sign up for student loans.
I don't think it matters. I don't think that's a reason not to help people.
It's not comparable. That no offense, but that demonstrates a degree of
all right. Well, my
situation. Cancer doesn't help you get a job. Cancer doesn't help you make a profit. An education can. There are degrees out there where you can make a ton more money than you spent on them, for example. So
you could say this about any opportunity that wasn't available in the past, but suddenly becomes available now. It's just a way to keep society stagnant and to stop the government from helping people.
Wait, but how does having twice as many people? How does having twice as many people with degrees as there are jobs requiring them? How is that not stagnant? Because
it leads to a more educated populace.
Yeah, as an employer, I want more educated people to employ.
Exactly. You have a better pool to pick from them.
Yeah. So if there's education that's free and more people have got higher education, that means I've got a better pool of people to employ from.
We're in a day and age where a lot of people are. Sorry, I'm killing someone.
Oh, we gotta kill these guys. We'll bicker after. I gotta kill these guys.
A lot of people are waking up to
run.
Not just getting by and merely surviving at this point. They want more out of life.
Oh no.
The genie's out of the bottle, man.
It won't let me drive.
He's running in.
Oh, they shot me out of the car somehow. Keeps happening.
Yes, I got him. We beat him.
We beat him.
Well, not quite yet. They're still up there.
There's one.
Oh, hello.
Another one. Yes, I got him. There's another one.
A lot of them.
Yes, I got him. But there's another one. That's a different team.
Oop.
No.
Let's revive each other.
Right there.
Jay is my first time.
Through the wall.
Cover me, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm covering you. He's running.
Oh, behind you, Jay.
No, I'm out of
3
ammo.
seconds. 2. No, I couldn't do it.
You could have. You should have killed him. Come on.
We're a team of dead.
And your cards gathered.
Get my weapons.
That's a different player. No. No.
Get my weapens.
No, I'm gonna die. That was a different player. No. No.
He's a football player.
No.
He was a player, literally. He had the pads to prove it.
That is what he is. He is that.
Alright, well, It's getting on in the afternoon
I
here.
guess it is. Yeah, it
It's
is
half
kind of
past
late.
one.
It's like 3:30 here. It is
Oh,
kind
but-
of late.
Jay,
Yeah.
I wish we had your system. Your system is superior. Our system is horrible.
Constitutional monarchy, mate. Rule Britannia.
You know,
Yeah, but
I'm actually, I'm getting
we have
open
a
to it.
constitutional monarchy, and you pay to go to college here, so. But I agree.
Well,
constitutional
we don't
monarchy-
want yours. We want we want Jay's. yours is like, you know, the second generation constitutional monarchy.
Would you take?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the question for Reese: would you take a constitutional monarchy in America if you had free college?
That's fine.
Oh, really?
I don't know how
Okay,
you-
so you can take
I-
the monarchy bill. Okay.
I don't know how they would set it up, or you know, they'd
Well,
have to
we'll just
probably
have
try
Queen
to find.
Elizabeth come to the throne.
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose.
That could
They'd probably go with, like, you know, there's like descendants of the Jeffersons and things like that, so something like that. But and
No.
No,
Queen
Hillary
Elizabeth
Clinton.
II.
No.
stand by. It should be Hillary Clinton as the first queen.
no, we're not
Just
taking
a
the
random
monarchy
person.
pill. Yeah, just, you know, me. How about that? It can be me. Then I'll really take the monarchy pill.
I would take King Reese of America over.
I'm indigenous, so I get to rule
that's
my land
true.
once again.
Older bloodline, yeah.
Mm.
King Arthur. King Arthur.
King Arthur!
King Arthur.
King
There we
Arthur.
go.
Yes. Yeah.
It's happening. It's gonna
gonna
happen.
literally happen.
There's no beating that.
All right.
We're gonna
All right.
we
I'll
decided.
catch you later, guys.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Have a good one, man.
I win. I beat him.
You
We
beat him.
beat him.
You beat
I
him.
think we could do maybe one more.
Yeah, we can do another round of trios. I'm gonna have to purge Jay though. Purge him.
Purge and splurge.
But yeah, so my point about the debt forgiveness was like, if nothing's done, the government's just gonna have to do that again. And like, oh, Hawk wants to come in. We'll bring Hawk in,
Yeah.
so we can actually
Oh,
do squad.
My
I
buddy
got that ready.
Dave.
And now I got a
Not
debate
Dave.
partner. Now I got a debate partner because Hawk and I actually agree on
Three
this.
versus one.
I'll take it.
It's
Uh-huh.
it's 3v1.
When you have the will of the people on your side, it's you win anyway. It's all good.
Fatal blow to our
Aye.
side.
Wait, I can't hear
Hey.
Hawk.
Uh oh,
Hawk.
you might be having a mic issue.
Uh-oh.
Dave, are you here?
poor Dave. No,
Dave Vader.
his system's broke. His respirator, his Vader respirator's
No,
broke.
I've got a debate partner who can't debate. No,
That is a mistake.
no. It's like the question, who would you rather have as your debate partner? A debate partner who literally can't use their voice, or Haas? I think I know what Jackson
Who uses
Hinkle's-
way too much of his voice.
Yeah. Jackson Hinkle's like, STFU, Haas. Oh no, the mic ain't working. No.
Well,
Well, he can still kill though. He can still get dubs. You don't need a mic to kill players and noobs.
that's true.
So we can still get this dub. We need a dub tonight before we go home. So needed this dub. Needed those dubs.
I'm surprised. I mean, Kevin, maybe I'm not surprised, but so you're okay with the forgiveness to an extent, and to be honest with you, there are a lot of people on the right who are. A lot of people who may surprise you. People like Ben Garrison, Mike Cernovich,
Well,
like people who are really far to the right.
Garrison's a
No,
populist.
not a good look.
Garrison's a populist. And
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying it's a good look by association, but I do find it interesting that there's a lot of people who so often don't see eye to eye, but they can see. And it's not a unification of populists, because I'm not a populist. Jay's not a populist. This is the mainstream left-wing position in America. Just happens to be agreeing with some people on the right.
But when I said that Ben Garrison's a populist, I was saying the people on the right that you'll see supporting this are people like Tucker or Garrison. And I don't know Tucker's position, but my guess is He doesn't like the gender studies degrees, but he likes the populist sort of appeal. But he doesn't like Biden, so I don't know which way he would go on that. But you're not going to see somebody like Ben Shapiro. You're not going to see somebody like Thomas Sowell. You're not going to see Milton Friedman endorsing this sort of thing. You know, that's the difference.
And that's because, well, we've seen a lot of their economic policies play out for the last couple decades, and people are over it, and people want more. They want their society to do more for them.
But my point is, I'm not against forgiving the debts as long as you admit that a mistake happened. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Governments make mistakes. Encouraging people who have no real purpose being in college to go to college, that's not their fault. That's partly the teachers, the public schools who do
I don't think that's them making a mistake, though, because it still sets you up in a better position in some cases in the immediate moment, depending on the position you go into. Yeah, you're going to have debt, but it's about getting a better pay out of your current position. The problem isn't with that. The problem is with the wage stagnation. You know, people used to be able to get by. You could have a whole family survive on one income that wasn't even that glamorous.
Right, but that's not an education thing, though. That's kind of a broader economic issue that goes to how our economy is structured. And I'll tell you this: even if you had free college, that would still be a thing, because the fact of the matter is, we're at a point now where things generally cost more because they're better. Like back in the day, yes, a one family income, like a one earner income, could be a thing, but your house probably didn't have proper running plumbing in a lot of parts of the US, like Alabama and stuff. Your car had no airbags or any of this sort of stuff. Everything was crappy, you know? And so, yeah, stuff was cheaper, but look at a house today. There's so much more value in it than a house built in, say, the 1940s. And so you're really getting more bang for your buck now. Oh no, we're getting slaughtered. I gotta heal and then I'll help you guys.
There needs to be a way to have high quality living, though, without it being a total detriment to your entire income for a lot of these people.
Well, the thing is, the inflation's also another one, and inflation is a lot trickier because a lot of the means that the government will take to solve short-term issues causes long-term inflation. And that's also what you've seen, is that because it's not really an employer's job to compensate for inflation per se. It's their job to basically, you know, negotiate with the worker and come to a wage that they both agree on.
I keep dying.
And, I'm gonna get you. I'm coming. I'm scared. I'm gonna be honest. I'm scared right now.
I think we need to consider a lot of the circumstances in which people will. Yeah, they agreed on a wage. They agreed on a wage out of desperation.
Right, but here's the thing, right? If people didn't spend 4 years and a huge amount of debt to go into a job that, or a degree that didn't get them a proper job for ROI, they might be in a better position. They may be running their own business with that money, right? Like, there's an opportunity cost there. And so, are some people desperate? Sure, but a lot of the people that go to college are like middle-class folks that get degrees.
They wouldn't have any money, though. They got that money specifically through the student loans. These people don't have money. They don't have money to set up their own business.
They wouldn't have debt. Like, here's the thing: 10K, writing off 10K debt is going to improve some people's life. But if they've got 40K debt and then 10K gets written off, they're still in a bad position, you know? And I'm not saying just write it all off. What I'm saying is the government needs to be cognizant that this is an unsustainable system where 70% of people are getting degrees for jobs that 30% require them. That's not a recipe that's gonna solve the issue. You know, because yes, is education better than not having education? Yes, but then you have to consider the economic trade-offs of it, and then decide on a personal level, does it make sense to pursue it? For some people, yes. For other people, no. And I feel like that's the pill that a lot of people can't swallow, is that some people, it's not that they'll never get it. It's just that they can't afford it. Like for me, I've said before, you know, if I were to go back, I would say I probably would have been better off putting my money into investing in, you know, my own enterprise rather than going to school. And I did better than a lot of other people who kind of regret their choices. You know, it could have been a lot worse. And so I don't like the idea of the government telling people that they're going to be failures if they don't go to college, and then the government admitting, oh yeah, we kind of did you wrong there. Like, so that's why I don't have that much of a problem with the government writing it off, because it is more a government problem that they got a lot of these kids that think they were going to be nobodies unless they went to college when they weren't necessarily ready. So,
you know, I don't have access to it now. I may take some time to look into this later, but you know, comparing the salary or wage that you're going to earn with or without the degree, because I don't think the government's really sending out any kind of message like that. It would depend on who you hear from, but based on that, the reason I'm not going in on all that is because I just don't have the numbers right in front of me. But based on, you know, even just general knowledge of it, you do gain a massive benefit from doing this, in the sense that, you know, based on who's going to hire you, what they're going to pay you, what they're going to trust you with as an employee, you know. Simply having a high school level education is not a desirable trait to most employers, and there's a reason for that, because it makes you not look like you have any ambition.
It's true, I don't.
And you know, that maybe that's misinformed, maybe that's ignorant. Certainly in Arthur's case, I mean, look at some of the look at all the work we put into.
So Arthur, you don't have a degree, right? Because you're more talented than most people. And I'm not just saying this because we're friends. I'm dead serious. You're more talented than most people I know who went to college and spent a bunch of money to go get like professional degrees. I'm dead serious about that. Like, you know, far more creative. Your graphics are some of the best on Twitch. You know.
Yes, talent.
Yes, talent. Yes, talent. Yes, talent. C talent. C talent.
C.
So I think we need to change that.
Come on. There's another one coming in.
Oh no.
That perception that.
Yes, like, I got him. Look. Regardless of what you guys' takes on my finance positions are, I am carrying this team right now. You guys would be dead without me.
That's what you're doing.
And now you're dead.
This boat got
I only had a sword. Oops.
This boat got wrong.
Got him. We got it, dude. I just killed 9 players. Let's go. Let's flipping go.
No.
Okay, I'll get you. I'm gonna get you.
Right.
And we don't have
the
that far
the perception of like, oh, high school students, they can't do anything. It's like, I mean, high school graduates, they can't do anything. It's like, it's kind of
that's
bad.
all the tradespeople who bought property and are millionaires now with retirement at like 50 years old, versus college guys that will never be able to retire and don't own any property, you know? So
yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh yeah, what did you do? It's like, oh, carpenter. How much did you make? 90K a year. How much did you save? 60K a year. The college guy, how much did you save? I can't save. I got too much debt. Like, who would you rather be, basically? So, and I'm not even saying like, oh, you got to go into trades or whatever. I already said, like, if you're going to be in certain professions, it makes sense to go into college. But this idea that you're always better off having college, it's like we need to take opportunity costs into it and whatnot, and there's a societal impression that people are a failure if they don't go to college, but I think that's dumb. I mean, a lot of the people with nice houses out there are tradespeople that never went to university, so, and they own it outright in a lot of cases. So, you know, it depends. So. Oh, Lima, Llama.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take it. I've actually got the ammo to fight it on my own. I'm gonna do this Tracy style. I've got him down to half health. He's stunned. It's over. He's not making it out. Oh no! You knocked me.
He's done.
Nice. Nice. Okay. I'm taking this.
It's pretty good.
Okay, everybody, what ammo do you need? What ammo do you need? Because I've got a lot of ammo right now. I have over
Shotgun.
500 regular rounds.
I have a combat and a shotgun and DMR.
Okay, I'll give you shotgun. Here.
Gracias.
Take this. Take that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've still got a lot left. So let's get out of here. I'm our healer, so everybody stay close to me because I have the cannon. Hey, get in the taxi. It's faster. Okay, it's party time. Let's go. Okay, so we got 10 kills, and we're rotating into the next town right now. Oh, they just rifted. They just rifted. We're going in. We're chasing them. They just rifted upwards. 12 o'clock. Oops. Oh, this place got destroyed. Oh, there's a car up there.
Oh,
She landed on the car.
She landed on the car.
on her feet because she was a cat.
They're shooting
Yeah,
at
well,
us.
not for long.
No, Hawk on the way. He's about to snipe. Nice.
Oh, sorry, they're a panther. Yeah, they're wrong, man.
Look, this gas station got blown up more than it normally does. Like, that entire building is gone. Oh, enemies right ahead.
Oh,
Uh-oh. I don't think they have commies. They just have the clouds.
They just have the cloud.
Ouch.
A Kamiha thing. Oh, no, it's objectivist. It's scared.
Let's slide in.
Let's go.
Hee hee.
Oh, no, there's another one up there. I missed. 19 damage to him. Everybody reload everything. Stay close to me. I've got the heals. Oh, no.
Ouch. I'm healing over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I took one down. No.
Ah!
oh,
No!
objective assault.
I was on the
I
way,
got
huh?
stuck in the doorway. No! Okay.
I was trying to hit out and you were trying to hit
Yeah.
in. Oops.
Dang. Okay, back to lobby. Let's spend our stars.
Yeah, I already spent a bunch. I'm gonna have nothing.
Oh man, what level am I? Level 134. Ooh, that's still a long way to go.
It's a grind, man.
It
I've
is
got
a
10 extra. I am on page 2. 35, 65, 80. Okay. It's 100 per page. Right, of course. I'm just gonna wait. I like to buy the pages as a whole.
Yeah, that's...
I need 4 more million and then I'll max out the Dragon Ball thing. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
It was nice playing with you, Objectivist Hawk, if you're still listening.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with this mic. That sucks,
Yeah,
man.
that's annoying.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, melty gold as a skin for a weapon. That's kind of barcode. But it's a barcode on the gun. It's literally a barcode gang scan. Look at these gun rats. Bubbly. What's next? Guggly. Core.
Goals.
Remember when Trump talked about the Marine Corps? How they got they call them that because of the Corps.
I remember when Anna Kasparian talked about the Marine Corps.
Corps. She said it 3 times.
She didn't know.
She didn't know. She didn't know it was corpses. Like, that's what Alex Stein would say. I didn't know we were in Russia with NATO. I didn't know. That's why I asked.
Just asking questions, man.
Just asking questions. Dynamic fire. Wait, what is... Oh, it changes color. Okay.
As opposed to flat fire.
Static fire. It
That is what
Being in NATO with Russia would be bad, but being in Russia with NATO would be good.
Being in Russia with NATO, being in NATO with Russia, same difference. Being in America with Russia, being in Russia with America.
Normal behavior.
Normal behavior. Yeah, no, man, Russia's getting absolutely wrecked. Their whole thing, economy that can withstand 1,000 sanctions. They're down 8% this year alone so far. Completely destroyed.
Dominated.
For what? Like 40,000 square kilometers of land that they can't even really hold and they might have to give up? At this point, the latest estimate I saw, they've committed 85% of their military to this.
Yikes.
And they're the number 2 military in Ukraine.
Hey, Kevoid. I have a pretty succinct slam dunk to a lot of things you were saying earlier. While it is true that a lot of jobs do not need those degrees because of the nature of the jobs. However, what we're seeing here is a competitive spirit. People going for a degree, that's a sign that they want those jobs. That's why those jobs are so contested in the first place. People don't want to be working some job with no benefits, where we're in no mobility upward. But unfortunately, just based on the way things are set up, those are positions that are still going to need to be filled by people for the foreseeable future. But this is a sign. This is basically an investment in a competitive spirit for those jobs. Because true, I guess we could just do a 1-for-1. This percentage of the population goes for the degrees, and and this percentage of the population, or the jobs rather, they need these degrees. Okay, well, what if that falls through? What if a number of people don't end up finishing that degree? They don't end up actually going into that field. Well, this is a way basically to ensure that there's always more of a pool for the employers to pick from, and more of a qualified pool at that, at least when it comes to the types of employees that they're looking for that job. But
are you down to schedule a debate about this? Because we could debate about it. Like, we could actually have a debate.
Maybe next year.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be a good debate to watch.
I feel like it would be a good debate because everybody's talking about it. So.
And I feel, I don't want to say revolution because that's really LARPy, but I do feel like there's kind of an economic change in the air. A lot of people, they've been used to the certain kind of system for a while. They want something different, man. They really want things to change. They want opportunities that didn't exist in the past, and I guess those opportunities didn't exist for other people. But I don't see that as any reason to continue with that tradition. That to me is just kind of a traditionalist argument that's not all that compelling to me.
Something I'd like to change is this, not to cave into the employer's dumb demands, but just to you know, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oops.
Well, no, you
That
were
would-
talking earlier. You were talking earlier about how, like, yeah, you don't need a degree to be talented or something like that. I know that came
Yeah.
up, but you know, and so that raises the question that you might be better with the degree than not, but are you 50K in debt better for it? Is the question.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think it's worth it.
Because 50K, here's the thing about 50K. Where I live, 50K, it's like, yeah, you can't do that much with it. In some cities out there, that will buy you a house or a condo at least, and then you never have to worry about significant housing expenses again. So it's like that can be life-changing in some cities. You know.
Yeah.
And it's a question of what would you rather have? A college degree that you won't get a job in that's directly relevant, or a house which is going to go up in
'Cause-
value over 40 years?
Because what about the people who, like me, only have the high school diploma and I just want to work at Starbucks, but somebody who has a college degree is working there, just taking that spot.
See, that's the other problem, is that I don't think it's a good economy when you've got somebody who's got like no academic experience but is hard working. They're willing to work, you know, and they don't want to go to 4-year college, you know, for whatever reason, whether it's financial or they don't feel like it or whatever. I don't really think, like, I feel like it's weird for them to go into an interview and then have the hiring manager say, well, we got a lot of other contestants out there or candidates out there, I'll let you know. And then you find out from like one of your friends that the guy who got the job has a PhD in psychology.
Yeah.
It's like, how is that
Right.
not stagnant as an economy? How is that not a waste? Why not have fewer PhDs in psychology? I get the reserve pool argument that Reese, that you're making, but the reality of that is that just means you have a bunch of people that are way too qualified for jobs. But that's not really a good position to be in either, is the thing. Because
I don't
get
think
your point that, like,
education-
you don't want to be right on the margin of like 30%, but you also don't want to have it of, oh yeah, no, Johnny couldn't get a job because a guy who has like an engineering degree or something got it instead at Starbucks. So.
I think we should invest in anyone who displays, you know, the ability, the proficiency in education, and the will to do this. I don't see education as ever being a waste, quite frankly. I want our population to be educated, and I want our population to know of the opportunities that are available to them. And unfortunately, that screws over a lot of people, but that's only because of the way it's set up here. That's not necessarily the case in other parts of the developed world.
Okay, when I say waste, I'm talking opportunity cost. I'm saying they could have done better with that money, investing it in something else. So, like, whether that be realty or something like that, which is almost, well,
the reason why these loans are handled differently, it's largely tied to the way that the economy is set up, because they see this as more of a worthwhile investment, because if you're getting an education, presumably you're going to go into the workforce, and that's going to pay itself back. If we just invest in you buying a house, okay, unless you're renting it out, you're not profiting off your house. There's no profit in helping people survive necessarily, as sad as that sounds. And I'm not even saying I approve of that system. I think that the current way the economy works is largely flawed, and it's not designed to help a lot of people. But that's just what it is, and that's why these types of loans would be handled differently.
What do you make of the idea, though, that in order to get a unsecured student loan, you need to be at least 25 or 26, which is when your frontal cortex finishes developing, instead of giving unsecured loans to 18-year-olds that don't know what they want to do with their life?
That'd be met with a lot of controversy, I can tell you. I'm not necessarily against it, and you know, you can certainly, like, if you've been through that change, you know, we have a lot of Zoomers watching, I'm sure, who have no clue, but
you think differently. You think about the future differently when you're 26.
Yes.
When I was 18, I was like, ooh, I got a credit card. Let's spend it, you know, because I might be dead tomorrow or whatever. And then it's like you're 26, 27. You're like, okay, I want to retire by 55. What am I going to do? You know, it's like you actually think about the future, you know, so.
It's a noticeable difference, but I would be more interested in probably tying it to something like we already provide these scholarship opportunities for students who show promise. We just need to be in the business of providing more to the point where debt essentially becomes obsolete, because it is a worthwhile investment if a student shows promise here and they have this sort of ambition. And this is something that's kind of an economic equalizer, because you could come from a really, unfortunate background, but if you showed that kind of ambition in primary school, then you can overcome those kinds of economic hurdles. We're essentially, creating this economic barrier for a lot of people who want to go on and get further education.
Well, okay, so here's the part about me where it's like a lot of what I argue for kind of sounds like a free market thing, but at the same time, it's more about I want to have the right people in the right sector. I actually wouldn't have a problem with the government identifying like talented people from a fairly early age and directing the investment towards them specifically for higher education. You know, they used to do this back in the day, like with the imperial test in China, where if they identified, talented or bright people in the villages that had no opportunity, they could actually go and become, part of the imperial ministry and whatnot, and they were actually patronized by the emperor. This happened in Italy too, where if they saw, the states back then, if they saw talent in people that were poor, they would like pluck those people out and set them up to be like, talented administrators of the court, basically. But these days it's just all about, well, how much money do you have, which I don't think is optimal, because you could be a dumb idiot and have a lot of money that was inherited, you know. So I feel like the imperial system they did back then was more of a meritocracy in a way, but I think a combination of the two is probably the best way to do it, because I don't necessarily want, I don't want to just completely leave everybody behind who isn't identified as having, these sorts of talents and stuff, because that would normally be like less than 1% of the population that would be selected for these positions. But it wasn't based on your wealth. It was just based on if you stood out. The king or whatever would like go around and have his people find people like that, regardless of their background, because they wanted talented people, So, but and if the government completely got out of the student loan system, I can guarantee you, private companies would still do scholarships, because they would want to make sure they had talented workers to stay in their companies. They wouldn't just want, nobodies, that sort of thing, right? But I don't know. I don't think a free-for-all is a good system, but I also recognize that Biden's going to have to do this again unless something changes, or the next president will have to do it again unless something changes. So
I doubt it will massively improve at all in my lifetime, to be honest with you. I'm not holding my breath, but I think there's kind of an angel of death that hangs over any discourse that's like this, and that is the exploitative and predatory nature of any kind of economic system. So I'm not even advocating for anything in particular, because a lot of people advocate for economic systems that they claim are not exploitative. A lot of these people are like socialists and communists, and we've seen the results of that. So I don't think that they've come up with anything resembling a good alternative. But it's just kind of the nature of reality that, the economy, I'd admit it, the economy that we have now is exploitative. It totally is.
So here's the thing, Reese. So I'm largely against the student loan forgiveness stuff, and like I have student loans, so you know I'd have an interest in this stuff being written off, but I'm looking at the macro scale. But what I do support is universal basic, well, not universal basic income. I support a negative income tax, which is de facto universal, but I'm not giving it to millionaires and billionaires because they don't need it. That's the difference. So what do you think about?
Well, I support that too.
Basic income solve that? Wouldn't a basic income tied to inflation solve that?
Yes, it would, but I don't see that going through. I see the student loan problem being solved before that is.
It's not going to be solved though.
Well, no, it's just it would remove abject poverty from the equation. Is what it would do. Like, it would remove the cycle of poverty basically forever if you had basic income.
I don't think that's going to happen because there's no profit incentive in it. And in fact, you could argue that there's an anti-poverty sentiment attached to it.
No, I disagree because it would be a replacement for the welfare state as it exists right now, which is bloated, inefficient, stigmatizes poor people. Like, imagine you replace food stamps and welfare and all these various programs that cost a lot of money to run with a basic income check each month. That would actually save money. This is why Milton Friedman, who was like way more free market than me, why he supported it. Because he said, well, you know, if we're going to have a safety net, at least have it be efficient. And
I agree with that. And we've detailed some of the ways, the freedoms that it allows. But I think any government would be more likely to just revoke welfare programs without any kind of replacement than to actually go through with that. That would be like you've seen the controversy surrounding this. That would be met with even more, like 10 times the backlash. That would not be received well.
There are a lot of libertarian type folks that would straight up support a negative income tax. There are Yang type people that get behind it. There are actually a lot of Republicans that get behind it because they don't like welfare. They'd see it as more efficient. Now, are you right that a lot of them want to get rid of everything? Yeah, but I don't agree with those people. I believe in a safety net, but I don't believe in a bunch of different bureaucracies splitting it all up. You know, like food stamps seems mind-numbingly dumb to me. But, you know, I don't want to get rid of the assistance. I want to consolidate the assistance, basically, to one package that isn't discriminatory. It isn't means tested in that sense. It's just, yeah, if you're below a certain income level, you're eligible for the negative income tax. And it's basically designed so that people can get on their feet. Nobody becomes homeless as a result of economic misfortune. But it's also not a luxury salary or anything. It basically, as I envision it, would be about the equivalent today, in Canada at least, of about $25,000 a year, which is enough to live on, but not to do anything beyond that with. So, but it would remove abject poverty.
I think we'd probably both be surprised by the number of people who are just like, they're not really into luxury or materialism. They're content to survive for the most part. And I think that that's something that a lot of government officials and Congress people would fear is, okay, well, if we remove the survival incentive, are people really, you'd almost have to tie it. And this is something that a lot of people fear. You tie these types of things to employment. It would basically be seen as an employment benefit.
But here's the thing, though. We have welfare right now, and some people do live on welfare, like, the welfare queens or whatever. That's their right of citizenship, though. Like, if you're a citizen of the country, you have basic income. You want to stay on that for the rest of your life? Okay, you're not going to drive a Ferrari, but okay, that's your right. That's what I would say. Because we already spend that money anyway on welfare, so it's not like it's costing any more. It would actually save money. If people want to do that, okay, that's their right. But it almost sounds like you're making the argument that more people would hop on that. But what about the people who want to get nice cars and houses and stuff? Like, who don't want to be broke for the rest of their life, They certainly do it. And a lot of those people, the way that they go about doing that is to get a higher education in the hopes that will impress an employer of some kind in the future.
But you know, the negative income thing, it sounds nice, but I don't see it happening for a while. I really don't. I would, you know, almost I'd expect them to cut everything, and then a few generations would go by, and then they'd start talking about it.
They can't cut everything. Like, here's the reality, right? Like, look, I mean, if you're a good capitalist, you would understand a little bit of what Marx is talking about. If you cut everything and turn it into Ancapistan, then there would be a socialist revolution, and then you lose everything as a capitalist. So you can't cut it, right? Like if they got rid of welfare and all this other stuff and everything, there would basically be a revolution in the U.S. I'm not wanting to cut it. I'm wanting to reform it. So you're right. Some people want to do that, but I would say that there is a far greater chance of a welfare reform than getting rid of welfare, because you'll have a revolution in the streets if you get rid of it. Because people are like, wait, there's no more safety net. What happens if entirely out of your control, you know, things go south?
They'd be like, my safety net's gone. Well, your safety net's gone.
Snip, snip.
No,
but the thing is, the people in power, they like who's talking about a negative income tax? You know, Yang talks about UBI, but that's a different beast altogether. Like, who do you think, in terms of like the number of people behind a certain idea, behind a negative income tax or behind just removing welfare altogether? I think it would be astronomically more in the latter category. Who's talking about a negative income tax? It's in our current government.
Yeah, but even Republicans support Social Security, for example, which is not something you'd expect them to
Not
support.
all of them.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, right? They're never going to get rid of it because the people that vote for them oftentimes rely on it. So they can't.
What if they did? What if they're so sure that they'd never not vote for us, they'd never vote for the Democrats, and a lot of them, they'd probably be right in that case. Clearly, there are people in high enough positions that it's actually concerning to me who have spoken quite vehemently about removing Social Security altogether. It doesn't matter what demographic votes for them. There, you know, if you can tip democracy in your favor, that kind of thing doesn't even matter. That's the way that they're thinking. And you know, yeah, maybe you'd have some people sit out elections. I don't see them flocking to the Democrats, a lot of these older voters, as a way of counterbalancing that.
Okay, but they literally wouldn't be able to pay rent or buy food for some of them, so they would have to vote Democrat.
And I think a lot of those people have become so radicalized they'd just vote for Republicans anyway.
They wouldn't put two and two together. They're just going to keep voting the same way, I think.
That's how they've always voted. Now, true, it's not the main party members talking about that, and it's not anywhere near a majority. But the fact that it's even being suggested at all, that should be concerning. And I'm kind of over when people say, "Oh, this will never happen," because people said that about a number of things, and then they actually did happen.
Wait, you just said the negative income tax would probably never happen.
What?
Well,
No, you. Uno reverse.
That's a good point. Well, you know, I don't think it would happen soon, but the difference there is I don't think anyone's really talking about that. That's a very niche idea.
But why do you think I talk about it? Because, you know, Milton Friedman talked about it, but obviously he's not with us anymore. He's talking about it back in the 80s. I think it's the thing that's going to save capitalism, if you ask me.
And we got a little hint of it with the no-no
Yang.
issue.
Oh, yeah, and the no-no issue, and Andrew Yang, too. You know, obviously he's doing UBI, but UBI is not that much different in a practical level. It's slightly more expensive because you have to give it to Bill Gates and stuff. But a negative income tax is technically better, but a UBI would still be preferable to what's going on now. So in that sense, I actually like Yang. Here's what I don't like about Yang. Ooh, let's have lunch with Tulsi. I don't like that. I think that's really crazy. I think it's all trying to reach out to Tulsi with cringe. I don't even really have that much of an issue with him per se going on Tucker and stuff, because at least that's a huge audience. But Tulsi was always some fringe nobody who wasn't gonna get. Why? Why are you reaching out to her? Like, you actually need to talk to Tucker. You don't need to talk to Tulsi. That was crazy.
And Yang is pretty good on Israel, but he had to cave in to.
that was so lame.
That was so lame. It was so lame.
I mean, he didn't have to, but he
Cave
did.
Yang.
And now he's doing like this third party thing, which is really disappointing because, okay,
Yeah.
so now you've got no shot. Like UBI and negative income tax, if it ever happens, it'll be done by the Democrats or Republicans, not some third party, Yodo, whatever, nobody sort of thing. They're never going to win. How are you going to win as a third party?
Not left, not right, but forward.
Yeah, the forward party or whatever. It's like, okay, but this sounds like a throwback to all these third parties. That the biggest one that ever had any chance of success, it was Ross Perot. But he was like an independent, wealthy dude who could actually finance it. And he got 19%. He didn't get to be president. But he got 19%. Yang's not getting 19. Yang ain't getting 19. So, but yeah.
You know, the real question is what can you do? Like we're it's funny because we're having this conversation about changing the discourse in any number of directions, but you know, ultimately anyone's kind of powerless against these norms that have been set. You know, I've said that for years. I don't think I've really made much of a difference. I don't expect to make a difference, and most of the problems that the world faces, I've just kind of accepted that they will be here for my life. You know, they'll come in different forms, sure. You know, like on foreign policy, oh yeah, we fought this enemy, and you know, eventually, we were dragging our feet, but we eventually got around to it. You know, guess what? When I'm 80, they're still going to be isolationists, and they're still going to be saying the same old crap that they said when I was 20. And I have no delusions that, you know, like there will always be these types of people. So, and that's not to doomer pill anyone. That's just to suggest that these fights are kind of eternal, and there really is no ultimate solution to humanity's problems.
Yeah, but there are more people talking about anti-theism today than they would if you had never existed. Might it be 100 people? Okay, but yes, you could definitely have an impact. Here's the thing. Here's how you get rid of norms and stuff on an incremental level. You start talking about alternatives. Like, you think about this. If a bunch of people in the mainstream media, for example, started bringing up the idea of a negative income tax as an alternative to welfare bureaucracy or the absurdities of the UBI system, guess what? Well, now millions of people know what it is. Now people are saying, yeah, why can't we have that? That would be better. Why do I need permission on what food I can buy from the government? You know, that sort of stuff. You know, like I pay taxes. I'm a citizen, but if I'm on the safety net, they tell me what food I can buy. That's pretty cringe. That doesn't teach you to be financially independent. Pretty cringe. So I think a lot of people would prefer negative income tax. I think a lot of people that are actually using those benefits would be like, yeah, I'd prefer the government treat me like an adult instead of like chattel. So. No, food stamps is cringe. Food stamps, by the way, these things psychologically cue people to being dependent on the government. Whereas the purpose of a negative income tax is to serve as if your business fails, so you can get back into the next one. So.
I was thinking of applying for that, but then I seen jump through some of these loops for us, do a little dance for us. I'm like,
yeah, it's pretty cringe. Dance monkey, dance Gordy, put on the suit, Gordy.
not Gordy.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna starve.
Yeah, I'm not your Gordy. I'm not your Gordy, Brandon. I'm not your Gordy, Brandon.
Well, something that I'm, I guess, a little confused about there is because you're drawing a comparison between the negative income tax and the current welfare programs. What do you think people would be better off under, though, in this situation? Because presumably, if they were worse off under the negative income tax, wouldn't that incentivize them to actually want to work for better? If there are people who are satisfied with these welfare programs to the point where they're not pursuing other options, how would the negative income tax address that population?
It would cut costs. It would still provide a basic standard of living, but it wouldn't require the massive bureaucracy to manage it. So it would ultimately cut costs at the public level. It wouldn't actually address that lack of work ethic, though. But I think it should be your right of citizenship to not starve to death, that sort of thing. It's a safety net at the end of the day. Now, when I talk about those people on welfare like that, that's a very small number of people. Most people are on these programs as a temporary thing. Now, if you say, well, make it less so people are more motivated to go and find a job, the problem with that is if you make it too much less, they literally can't afford to keep the lights on, and then how are they supposed to find a job? So that's the thing, right? So, I'm sure there are people out there that are homeless that would be motivated to find a job, but how are they going to get hired? There's no shower, there's nothing, right? So that's the thing. It's designed to be the bare minimum to provide a standard of living to survive as a safety net. But
the way I can see it addressing this is it's only up to a very high point that the negative income tax would go away. We're talking Bill Gates level. So because if you end up getting a certain profession and a certain income, you lose these welfare benefits. But presumably with a negative income tax, you would just have it. It wouldn't matter what your income was. It wouldn't matter up into a very absurd point where obviously you didn't need it. I don't know.
No.
What do you think? What do you think's the cap off for receiving those benefits?
No, see, that's another area. I should have clarified. That's another area where it's different than a UBI. Because a UBI, this was also the thing that was dumb about Yang. In a UBI, average middle-class people get the UBI each month. But in a welfare system or a negative income tax system, only the people that need it get it. So if you make, say you get hired and you get a job and now you're earning $70K a year, well, now you're not getting the $25K on negative income tax. The whole point of it is it's so you don't starve to death, but you can get back on your feet. But also, so we're not having a bunch of people getting paid a bloated wage in the government telling you what you can and can't buy at Starbucks or whatever. So that's it. But it's basically like a welfare. It's not a universal income. It's basic income as a safety. So.
But what do you think the cutoff point should be?
Oh, the cutoff point? I think, well, here's how I would structure it. The benefit would work out to the equivalent of $25,000 a year in Canadian dollars right now. So enough to survive, but not like a luxury thing. But obviously it doesn't go away if you get $25,500 at a job or whatever. I would say that it goes away once you're making $50,000. So,
Okay, that's pretty fair.
Because then you're objectively better off past that than you are before.
I don't actually.
So there's still an incentive to get a job.
I'm such a non-globalist. I don't even know the equivalent for Canadian dollars to US dollars.
It's about 1.3 roughly. So 25,000 a year in Canada, which I said is about what you need to basically just survive, is about the same as about 19,000 in American, roughly 18,000 American a year.
So it'd be around 40,000 American. Yeah, that's pretty average for it. Okay.
40,000 when you're no longer eligible.
Right. No, that's fair.
That's about a middle class income at that.
Look, that's a great idea. I would love to see it. And I'd love to see more people talking about it. And I think that, that would be a great use for someone's platform, even if they went on a show like Tucker Carlson. Talk about that. Guess what? You'll probably get Tucker to say, that's a great idea. He'll nod along.
Well, that's what
Go
Friedman
for it.
used to do. He used to go on conservative shows and stuff talking about negative income tax as an alternative to the welfare state. It was popular, but then he died. Nobody really talks about it anymore.
Yeah, that needs to come back, and that would basically, it's already cringe. A lot of these, lay revolutionaries, but they would be effectively obsolete in such a world as that.
They hate it. You know what Sam Cedar said about it? You know what he said? And he was talking about Andrew Yang, but he'd have the same criticism of Milton Friedman, I guarantee it. He said that this was capitalist tech bros' attempt to placate the population and normalize capitalism. And he was saying that it was designed to be.
That's right. You told me this.
He said that the functionality of it was to get people dissociated from the state, where they're no longer dependent on government. He talked about that as if it was a negative. I was shocked that he was that mask off, because he was basically saying that for them, they want more people dependent on the government so that they can basically continue this basically Corbynite type system. And he was very honest too. I was shocked. I'm like, so you're admitting that this would be an improvement, but you're against it because it would normalize capitalism and get people off of their dependence on the government. I've never heard of a better argument for it. He did better selling it than Milton Friedman did. Yeah, you're no longer dependent on the government, and we all get richer, and the tech industry gets big. Okay, great. Great.
Just Sam Cedar leaning over a bathroom stall. No, the government must control you.
They got rid of the food stamps department. No, I knew the guy who worked there. No. Yeah, now he has to get a job not managing people that are in a desperate situation.
Now I'm more of a leg to stand on, but it will be part of capitalism.
This is the thing. It's kind of a meme, the great man theory of history or the great person theory of history. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's such a meme. Yeah, except Milton Friedman died and nobody talks about it anymore. So obviously that's a thing. Obviously single individuals can determine the fate of history and economics. And especially wars. Look at what's gone on in Russia, right? I've said before, the problem isn't just Putin, but let's say Navalny was in charge and he didn't invade Ukraine. Oh, well then the world would be a very different place. Oh, but that's great man theory of history. Yeah, it's all systemic. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes one person can make the complete difference in the discourse, actions. I'd say FDR is an example of that. The New Deal never would have happened without him. So, as an example.
Oh, no. I'm not denying that single individuals can't massively impact the world. I was simply questioning my own ability to impact the world, quite frankly.
Oh, right. Well, I'm not so much talking about you. I'm saying, I've seen people on Twitter and YouTube recently making fun of, the great man theory of history, and these are mostly socialists and stuff, and it's okay, but don't you guys worship Marx and Engels?
Normal behavior.
Normal. Arguably, they aestheticize, these individual figures more than anybody in capitalism. You don't really see capitalists going around with portraits of Bill Gates and stuff, It's kind of yeah, he's a CEO. Whereas to the communists, Marx and Stalin and Mao, are their lifeblood. They can't live without their thought. They uphold their image, So, their likeness, the banners of Stalin and Mao. So. Oh, no materialism? That's what they do. They say to me on Twitter, when an MF has no materialism, reply to my tweets. No materialism. I'm not materialistic, Reese.
Materialism is pretty bad. It's pretty cringe.
Yeah, you sound like a capitalist. If you were a true comrade, you'd be materialist.
I thought that they were supposed to be anti-materialists. It was very strange.
They're all about materialism. And their whole point is that capitalism tries to sell you on these vague ideas of the nation and and all this stuff to divide you from your class, man. But if you were a materialist, you'd be class conscious. And you realize that you're getting exploited. And you'd seize the means of production, man. And you take material control, man. This is what all these people say. This is what, and by the way, I like what Bastiat said. Like I don't call myself a neoliberal or anything, but I did think it was kind of a Chad move when he said on one stream when he was getting flooded by communists. He said, "Look, to all you kids out there like trying to ratio me right now, understand, you live in a neoliberal world and you will die in a neoliberal world, and you'll get used to it and you'll like it or something." I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of a Chad thing to say because it's kind of true. Like all these guys think, like, yeah, we're gonna overturn the system. It's like, they'll live long lives. They'll die at like 105, and they'll still be a market economy.
We'll get them next year.
Except here's the irony of it: all those people will have like gotten used to it and been like managers and stuff by that point. Bought swag and stuff. Like all the hippies of the '60s became middle management in the '80s, right? So it's kind of that meme. Like, it's a phase. Like, keep in mind, most of the socialists on Twitter, with the exception of, like, some very unfortunate 30-year-olds, are, like, 16. But I was a socialist at 16. I called myself a democratic socialist, I think, until I was 17.
True. Me too.
Yeah.
Except I took a lot later
So
to get out of that. But
Making up for your
Reese,
past sins.
Race, did you ever call yourself a socialist?
No.
No. You're more pure than us.
I did like Bernie for a time. I liked him okay. I wasn't super enamored with him.
I
I voted for Bernie. That's how late I was.
Ooh, okay.
The Hawk Gang train.
I never voted for Bernie.
Well, yeah.
Now we got the moose. You get the moose Bernie up here right
Yeah, you voted for Moose Sanders. That's who you voted for.
Moose Sanders. Moose Sanders.
Moose Sanders.
Moose Anders. That almost sounds like a name from like Scandinavia. Just like, yeah, Mr. Moose Anders. Yeah.
We have Mr. Moose Anders.
Moose. Mr. Moose. And it's like M-U-S with like an umlaut or something over it. You know?
Moose.
Sanders. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. Reese is German. You know how like a lot of those accents and stuff work. What is it? It's like it makes it an ooh, I think, right? Like
Griffin und Erfen.
Uber, yeah. You know, I think it's kind of
Goober.
interesting how Germany still has a pretty problematic anthem. You know, their anthem today, they got rid of the Hitler one, but they've got Deutschland über alles. It's like, yeah, we're better than everyone else. It's like, it's kind of funny. People rip on America for being like jingoistic or whatever. I think that the German national anthem might be one of the most jingoistic things I've ever heard, you know, in the modern age.
That's pretty funny.
Deutschland
Especially
über
considering their leadership is pathetic.
Yeah, it's like Deutschland über alles. Like I saw this like anthem video on YouTube of it, and it's like Merkel and stuff, and I'm like, Uber alles in der Welt. But I'm like, okay, but she would say that Putin is Uber her. So how does that work?
They only play it when Putin visits.
Only when, yeah, and it's like Russaland Uber alles. What's Russia in German? Is it Rusland? What is it? What is it? I don't know.
You're asking the
wrong.
I'm a bad German. I know more Spanish than German.
Yeah, asking the wrong German. Yeah.
The wrong German.
Natalie says, I was never a socialist. I was a progressive from 2012 to 16, but was merely liberal. You know, it's interesting because a lot of progressives today would say you can't be a progressive and a liberal. Man. Liberals.
Yeah, those people are terminally online.
Oh, terminally online. That's the other thing is it's like Marxist onlineist thought, you know?
Terminal thought.
Terminal thought. It's like, oh yeah, you know, Marx would have wanted us to brigade in the Discord. You know? Oh, it's also funny that one of their idols, Frederick Engels, was a capitalist tycoon. It's kind of funny, but he patronized Marx. He paid his rent.
Makes about as much sense as the Patrick Bateman angle, honestly.
Oh, it really does, because Engels definitely had more of the Bateman vibe going on. But like I had a guy today with a Patrick Bateman looking stern at me profile picture, calling me names and stuff or whatever. I'm like, it's weird. I never noticed like that American Psycho stuff as this big meme before Twitter, you know? Like if you showed me a picture in 2017 of Patrick Bateman, I wouldn't even know who that was, you know? And then I find out that he's like this icon of leftist Twitter. Crazy.
He's also the icon of the starter pack for "You were wrong to idolize this character." Yeah, a few, there's definitely, I'm not saying people are ruining films, but too many people walking away from films with the wrong message.
Yeah, I want to be like Bateman when I grow up.
It is crazy, though. It only takes one person to ruin a good time and to start a discourse. Because, another person...
Great man theory of history.
There you go. This is like an anti-great man theory.
Okay, I'm down for another round. You guys down for another round?
Yeah, man. We can
I've got energy right now. I'm kind of mad after seeing that Bateman account. That got my blood pressure up. Uh-oh, I'm admitting I'm triggered. Uh-oh.
In the starter pack, you'll always see Bateman, and you'll always see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
The Joker?
And if you remember, it was a big controversy at the time when that film came out because people, when I went, there was extra security at the cinema.
Yeah.
Because people were obviously, they were concerned. The reason why is because of the incident in Aurora.
Yeah.
Where there was a guy claiming to be the Joker. That's what it takes. It just takes one person to ruin a good time. One person who walked away with this insane extrapolation from media. And then you get a lot of discourse about people saying, oh, well, maybe we should ban these. Maybe we shouldn't have films like this anymore.
Well, I think, an example of that in the fashion industry would be, I don't think it's that controversial of a statement to say that that Charlie Chapman was a swaggy fashion guy.
I know where you're going.
Well, guess who ruined that look? He ruined it.
Literally Hitler.
One man ruined that aesthetic. Ruined it.
Just takes one.
Ruined it. And now we can never do it again. Like there was the Tucker Ghoul Gang segment where the clip of it that processed on Twitch had the pause icon on the screen at the time, right above Tucker Carlson's mouth, and he looked like Charlie Chaplin. And I'm like, well, that is kind of funny.
That's unfortunate.
That's kind of funny, yeah. Actually, no, we're going Rave Cave with the boys. We'll go Rave.
Right.
Rave
Here's the thing about the great man theory. And this is kind of an unfortunate thing, and it's really just kind of a hypothesis on my part, but I think that it would be far easier for you to be the anti-great man than for you to be the great man. If all you were interested in was being remembered, and this is a dark truth, it'd be far easier to do something horrible than to do something great. And that is probably the incentive for a lot of the psychos in our society.
Well, yeah, the school shooters are a great example of that because, interesting enough, Hitler's not a great example of that. He put in real effort into being a horrible monster.
I'm talking about people who flame out.
Yeah.
People who flame out of existence. The theater shooter, Nicholas Cruz, people like that.
Yeah, Elliot Rodger, all these people.
Ugh.
See, he is actually worshipped in some communities. in an I word that we can't say on Twitch.
All right, yeah.
Like, he's actually upheld. Like, he's not seen as pathetic. He's seen as what they aspire to have the courage to do. And it's crazy. And I wish the feds would be in every single one of their chats. But
They honestly, they probably are in a lot of them. Because remember, everyone's a Fed, right?
Well, yeah, Vosh is a Fed. He supports Ukraine. He's a Fed. He must be a Fed.
And he's in these chats. He has to be, right? Voosh bad.
Yeah,
I heard you work with him.
I've come to like the fella over the last few years, even though we got a lot of disagreements and stuff. He's a genuine guy, and yeah, I think a lot of the Jay was saying he likes Vosh. He's been watching a lot of Vosh. I've talked with Vosh. He's an interesting guy. So
he's got some pretty despicable views.
He does, mostly on Israel is the worst part of
yeah,
it.
that's the one I was thinking of.
And he really needs to change that. But really, like, if you're that big and you've only got one nuke take like that, okay, maybe there's hope. You know,
it could be worse. And Israel's important, but it's not the particularly the most important issue right now, unless you're in Israel.
Unless you're in Israel, like, because it could have been very easy that in another world he could have been a communist who thought that Ukraine was capitalist degeneracy. I mean,
that would have made him a true comrade.
Yeah, think about this. Like, it is actually still impressive when people in that side of the internet come around to support Ukraine, because there's an actual debate going on if Ukraine, if you should support it or not. And he has done a lot to popularize Ukraine. Him and Burns on like the left. Ooh.
Burn.
Reese is breaking into the safe. Normal.
As I should be. I'll actually take the charge, and I'll take these. Hello. Good stuff.
I'm gonna search the safe. There was a llama. He put his whole savings in that safe. Now it's gone.
Well, he should have put it somewhere safer.
But there's a huge vault door here. Look at that. That's about the safest thing in Fortnite, don't you think?
And the safe is called a safe.
Oh, and yeah, false advertising.
Lies. All lies.
Lies.
That is what we tell. Oh, that's a purple. I got a gold. Someone wants to take their chance on that.
By the way, a gold charge SMG, worse than a great pistol.
Hey man, I can make them.
Oh my god, I can't get in because I'm gonna pick up the disgusting charged SMG first. Then I have to... I'm gonna touch it. It's bad luck.
Right now. I'm gonna fall boulders.
That's a nice boulder.
Imagine I fall one of these and it does actually.
Whoever left that charged SMG in front of the porta potty is gonna die.
That was Kevin. I wasn't over there.
Wait, the purple one?
Yeah, I had to touch it.
Oh.
I had to touch it.
Oh, I thought you were trying to make a point that how could you leave it behind? It's so good. Oh, cars. No, that's the NPCs.
Yeah, don't start any fights here.
Oh, calming stuff here. It's right here.
Kami, ha.
You got it. I'm not rocking any heels or anything. Oh, I just took their car. Wait, they don't get mad when I take their car? Wow.
Apparently not. See, you loses.
I'm stuck in a place, but I can't.
Oh no.
Oh, I got out.
I'm gonna fall this pipe. Yes, it knocked over others. Yes, it knocked down all 4 of them. Yeah, I hope I got credit for all 4. That's what triggered that team back that game when we ran into them. Oh, and it blew up the gas station. It ran right into the gas tanks and everything blew up. That's so epic.
Oof. Big
Imagine
oofs.
there were guys fueling up there and then they just get log running into them.
Storm coming.
Big oofs for isolationist goofs.
Goofs. Big goofs for goofs, yeah.
For hacks and quacks.
See, no. Well, Hacks and Quacks is a ripoff. Big Goofs for Commie Goofs is my trademark. Hacks and Quacks is a ripoff.
What hacks and quacks do?
Yeah, Hacks and Quacks. Hacks and Quacks.
Hacks and quacks was the product of hacks, ironically.
Hacks and Quacks. Oh yeah, we got the Hacks and Quacks, like spooky dookies.
The internet's a weird place, man.
Internet's a weird place, I agree.
It's very weird.
Internet's a normal place.
There's a NATO destroying everything.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get on this 4.
Oh, can I actually get in with the baller? I think I can.
I ran over an enemy.
Balling in a NATO.
Speed bump.
Yes, I can. Oh
All right.
no. I'm stuck under the bridge. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh. Hey, Arthur. How you doing, sexy?
Get in. I'm just
trying to-
driving
let me try-
around.
Let me
In
try to
this
latch
truck.
onto you.
Coming in
Ah,
with a 4. Coming in with a
Oh.
4. Oh no, the 4 doesn't come with me. No.
that's weird. My truck is still here in the NATO.
Oh, this is loud. Oh wait, you're in a truck. I'm gonna try to get in the truck. Wait, I can't really get in your truck. No. I want to get in the truck.
Oh yeah, there has to be a way.
Yes, I'm in the truck.
Oh, he got in.
I'm in. I got in. Now I can like start shooting. Oh, there's fighting over there. There's fighting over there. Let's go.
Oh no.
No. Get out. No. Get out.
How do we get out of this?
The truck.
In the car. Oh, I got free from the storm.
I was trying to snipe that moving truck over there.
Let's go. Oh,
Yeah, I did
hello.
600 to that moving truck. Yes, I blew it up. I blew up their vehicle. Huh. They're getting absolutely bullied. Oh, there's guys fighting behind us in town.
Ow. Arthur, how
I'm
could
taking
you?
down all these bushes.
What are you, Clippers? That's a terrible.
Thought I heard a kami hummy.
Kamiyamama.
They're returning fire.
Oh. Shiitake mushrooms. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I was just talking about mushrooms.
I like mushrooms. I could go for some pizza. With
I could go for some shrooms. Yeah. Me too. What's wrong with calling them shrooms? That's what they are.
It is.
Oh, this storm. Oh, this is gonna be the death of us.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
You're
no,
gonna
my
die.
animal is tired. No.
It's not a good
Get
time.
in.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Oh.
Arthur.
No, I'm running. No. I can barely keep up. No. He's here. Thank you. There's an enemy here. I'm about to die.
Arthur.
Ah, I can't drive. NATO.
Oh, I do see that guy. It's just a little too far ahead.
Oh no.
Ah, where does this storm end? Wow.
No.
It's like the furthest circle I've ever seen. My
Perfect,
car
man.
can't even keep up. It's all the way in the ocean.
Enemy.
Coming
It's over. I'm so done. It's over.
No.
Okay. I'm paddling. Please end storm. Please end. There's no way. Oh, there's actually
So many
someone
commies.
in. Yep, they're right there.
40 damage.
Coming in. Oh, there's
Over
actually
here.
multiples diving in. I'm dead. Well,
Ah, thanks, buddy. Ah! Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we got him.
black suit spider.
back here.
Ooh, take that crown. Your crown clown.
I'm about to die. 1 health.
No.
Kevin's only 8 better than you. This is unfortunate. There are. Yeah, basically it's all duos now. 11 other players.
Yeah, got it.
Uh-oh. I see that one. They're coming in near the truck.
Got the clown crown.
Oh, I think that just sinks the truck. Oh.
Oh, I thought it would blow up.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't think it does. But I've never had the opportunity to try something so niche before.
Niche, you're a hog streamer.
That is what I am.
You're niche.
That's what I tell people when I go on first dates.
You're a hog streamer.
They're like, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, I dunk on the hacks and quacks. That's what I do.
No, he's got. Yeah, he had the lightsaber. He almost killed me.
Oh, that was pretty
Oh,
scary.
he had the heals.
Uh-oh, watch out for that storm.
I know.
It's
I
spooky.
forgot.
You are doing good. Still
Enemy
basically the
landing
same
back there.
ratio.
Ratio. No, you. Ratio. Heard ratio.
8 players, 7 players, 4 teams.
Arthur, fall back towards me. We shouldn't.
So
do that.
you're better off than one of the teams, that's for sure. They're not doing so well.
I'm afraid of getting out of the
Oh,
water.
5 players. Hello. 5 and 3. So they're probably going to take out that solo, and then it's going to be you versus a duo.
One heal.
I have no faith in solos. They never win. Not in these scenarios.
Oh, it says I have 0 shield, but the bar says I have like a lot.
Glitch
I
time.
don't believe anymore.
Yeah, we glitching. We twitching.
Twitch.
We're literally twitching. We're on Twitch.
We are streaming to Twitch currently.
At
Okay, you're gonna have to move out of the
madman
way,
hours.
Kevin.
I'm just looking out there because we are gonna have to move. I'm just trying to see where they're at.
Hmm. This final circle is insane.
Reload everything. It's all.
They're gonna be-
It's all in the water. How do we
Very
hide it?
soon.
There's no builds. There's no builds.
go.
Okay, do you have a porta fort that we? There he is.
Nope. Let's go.
100.
Nice.
I did 100 to him. He went
Uh-oh.
down.
I got him.
Nice. Oh,
He
he's
did
down
hit me
there.
a little though.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Sky Crime Legacy update. That's a career update. Blow up somebody in the air.
Sky Crime.
Oh, no. There's an enemy over there.
Yeah, they're gonna be on
Wait, I
that
can't do
land.
the Vader thing like this. I can't do the Vader thing when I'm in the water.
I'm out
to
of
dodge.
I'm out of
An
long
enemy
range
left.
ammo.
He's over here.
Yep. Stay
Just
on the
wait for
island.
me. Wait for me.
Oh, look at that. Yes, and that's a Crown Royale. That slow motion. Did you guys see that explosion?
That's
Yup.
pretty good, man.
Okay.
That's pretty amazing.
Hey, I said we needed a win before we went off air. Now we can get another win for another crown.
Is that really
We may have to say that for next time.
No,
to be honest
next
with you.
time.
then we'll forget we have the crown, and then we'll play dumb.
Mm,
Don't
no,
forget.
that never works.
Write a note. Write a note.
You guys aren't ready? Okay, we'll go back to
Nah.
okay.
Not
I've had enough.
not with Ghoul Gang later.
Yeah.
I can't do it, man.
Let's enjoy our crowns.
We do have these
Exactly.
crowns. We do have these. Needed these. That was an epic win.
Probably the best one in a while.
Yeah, I used the beam to kill him, and he didn't even move.
You used the Kamiyamama.
They did. Look, I've got a
Baby.
crown. I've got my crown emote. I'm a llama. It's a crown llama.
They brought Dragon Ross to Fortnite with the Kamiyamama.
Yeah, he's got all these pills. Door pilled,
Roz pilled.
Terror pilled, Fraser pilled,
Roswell pilled.
Fraser pilled, Niles pilled.
Fraser
You said
pilled.
Ross. You said Ross.
Yeah, good. That's a good reference. I like it.
Like Dragon
I'm-
Ross. It's her dragon.
It's my final. This isn't even my final form.
But yeah, no, that's why, as you were saying though earlier, Reese, that's why it's incumbent on the media to not actually say the names of these people, so they don't, like, imagine nobody ever said their name, then they couldn't get famous for doing that type of stuff, you know?
Anything they do makes a headline now.
Yeah.
Like it, the ones that actually live. Like I saw a headline about Cruz just the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, he's still a thing. But no, he's famous now. Infamous rather.
Yeah.
But to some people that distinction means very little.
Yeah, well.
Well.
Train time.
That's all I have to say to that.
Oh yeah. Cars and trains.
Wheel boys. Oh yeah,
Wheels.
that's better. Yeah, where we're going, we
no
don't need
wheels.
roads. Since they have a train, what they really need is like a joint emote you can do, where it's that little conveyor thing on the tracks with the little, you have two people. What's that thing called?
Yeah, that thing where it's like one pushes up, one pushes down. They're on a flatbed train.
Yeah, the seesaw, whatever it
These-
is.
Well, have a good night, everybody. Peace.